Well, we were back this morning. We're just loading out the last little bit of concrete I got piled up from that house. I did talk to the homeowner. I was going to leave this slab here, so when they came out here to work, or you know, maybe if they needed to stage stuff for the house that they're going to build, but I think they're going to build just right on the other side of this, is what they're saying, or somewhere at the end of it. So we're going to go ahead and take it out now, and I'm probably going to tear out some of those trees and scrub brush and stuff. So I was hoping to get a counterweight off a forklift, because my man Rick Schmidt over on Instagram is a big forklift guy. That's what he told me is probably the best thing to break up concrete. I checked with a friend of mine here in town that actually had, his shop's next to mine. He had a fire a few years ago, and he had a couple of his forklifts inside, but I guess they already hauled them off. So I'm going to be on the hunt for one of those, because that sounds, it makes sense, because I don't know if it's made out of concrete or just concrete and steel, but that would be a good thing to use, because I'm not going to rent a hammer and put on this. I can probably start at a corner over here, and this stuff will probably break up all right. I like using this technique or whatever, just because to me it's easier than putting a hammer on here, or it cuts down on the cost of rental of the machine and the hammer. But I know I'll still get comments on how I need a hammer. I think she's gonna break up pretty good. Like I said, there's a lot of movement on it. Some of these are all like a monolithic pour, so they just kind of dig a footing and pour it, which it's strong, but kind of makes it a pain to break apart. And I'm also just starting to like the most random spots on dropping this. Yeah, like from what Rick's saying, I'm basically, like, I never even thought about it, which makes a ton of sense. You just get like a counterweight or the back end of like a forklift. They are heavy, and I mean, it's usually a huge chunk of steel, and it may have a layer of concrete in the middle, but those aren't going to fall apart. It'd be almost like using a wrecking ball. So hopefully I can locate one of those here one of these days. Give that a shot. House cleaned up, kind of got some of it filled in. I put some of the concrete pieces down there. I busted the floor and everything up so it wouldn't hold water, and kind of tracked it in. That's an old well house. He told me to leave it be. I think they're going to try to get that inspected, and they may have to eventually take the blocks down around it, or see if they can refurbish it. I'd like to take that tree out, but it's growing like right at the base of that well house, so I'm afraid if I push it over, it's just going to blow that whole wall out. So probably need to come back with a chainsaw and do that, so we'll kind of leave that be. But the site is definitely getting cleaned up, so we'll see if we can't bust this up and get this out of here this afternoon. I didn't get a chance to do an after video yesterday because it got kind of dark, and this one's on my phone, so I'm trying to kind of keep it slow, so it's real shaky. But this is the kind of how it looks now. I got it cleaned up. I went ahead and just piled that brush right there. That way he can come down here on the weekends and burn it. It should be away from enough trees, and there's not much grass and junk around it. But I went ahead and took this slab out, and then he's actually gonna build his house, I think somewhere where that was at, or even a little more to the west. So we've got to come back and tear out all that, and there's some more concrete pads back there and part of a fence, and you can see a couple of little buildings and such. But this was just kind of to get everything opened up. I'm supposed to meet with them next week and try to come up with their game plan and see which way they want to go from now. I kind of graded this hill a little bit. I've still got it's a little rougher than what I thought. It was, like I said, it was dark. I need to bring a little more fill down here and kind of finish filling this hole in. I was gonna keep kind of cutting that, but I didn't. I mean, it's got it kind of flat, so I didn't want to just keep cutting a valley down through here. But he's got plenty of other material here. This is kind of how it came out here now. So I think there's gonna be quite a bit more projects taking place here, but this was kind of phase one, I guess. So you can kind of get in here and see the lay of the land up here and go from there. So like I said, I just wanted to show somewhat of an after. It's not super cleaned up, but yeah, definitely looks a lot different than what it did a couple days ago. So we'll just catch you guys later.